One thing I have not been able to correctly get right in battle videos, like in Gen 6, is like, what is a good speed for them? Like, what is a good overall speed? Like, should I even touch it? Is it fine, like stock versus recorder? Should I speed up a little bit? Should I speed it up as much as I did in Black White 2? It's honestly not that bad regularly, and I think that was the hugest problem with it. It was just a little bit too slow, but otherwise, I think it's great. I sped this one up a little bit just because Klefki on both sides is just kind of whatever. But anyway, I got a game against a dude named Zone. I forgot to write down a Twitch TV name, so I'll just end up filling him in the top like I did in the last one, or like I'm assuming I did in the last one. But I'm just going to lead off with my own Klefki just because it is a setup poke. That's all I got it for here. And just going to go for light screen as a Rotom Wash. If it wants to go for a trick or a... Actually, you know what? They don't get trick yet. That's right. That's something I totally just remembered right now. They don't get trick. They don't get paint split. They don't get that for a little while, so I don't have to worry about that. But just going to go for a light screen. Or maybe they do get trick. I don't know. I don't think they do. I think that was move tutor. But Excadrill comes in. I know it's going to try to go for an Earthquake, which is why I decided to go into Chestnut, who I've been using a lot as of lately. I think he's pretty underrated, and I think he's really cool. Doesn't really have as much of a niche in OU as I'd like for him to have, but definitely give him a shot sometime. He won't be a tremendous disappointment. He's got a lot of great Bolt going on to him. But gonna set up a sub, because Excadrill really can't do much aside from, like, maybe Return or, like, Iron Head. I think could potentially be his plays there, but that's about it. Get to go for a low sweep as I set up a sub on the switch to Gudra, and I get a crit on that, and then I believe I'm going to get a crit on the next move as well, on the next offense move I get to go on for it, but that's not coming for a couple turns right now. Get to see that he does have Fire Blast. I have not had too much experience with these. I know their coverage is great, but that's all I really know about them. I'm in the process of training one myself. I think it's like 2 levels away from evolving, but we're just kind of working with stuff. And then I go for another sub to see if I can get a Fire Blast miss. He switches up moves and tries to go for a Dragon Tail. So I get to keep this sub, and I get another free hit off on him. So I decide I'm going to go for Stone Edge because I don't want my my speed to drop anymore. And it turns out I get another crit. I don't know how much that one ended up mattering because I think base power-wise, I think low sweep might be a little bit higher than Stone Edge. So maybe, kind of, sort of. Actually, yeah, I probably did. Whatever. Hacks happens. So, get to go for Seed Bomb on the switch to Gengar. Gengar with sub, if it doesn't have Dazzling Gleam, there's not really much of a way it can touch me. If it's just like sub disable, then I am... both of the attacks get blocked by Bulletproof. So, I should be free behind the sub to do whatever I want. But he's just going to end up going for Dazzling Gleam. Every Gengar I've fought with Chestnut has had Dazzling Gleam. I've never truly walled one set, and it disappoints me because the only Gengar I've run into that has that kind of set is my own. And thankfully I haven't run into any Chestnuts yet. We'll try to keep it that way. But goes for Dazzling Gleam on my sub, just ends up breaking it. I knew it would have broken it even with the light screen, but I figure, hey, I don't want to waste the good sub. We'll just, we'll keep it in there, and we'll see how long it can stay in with Chestnut. But the next Dazzling Gleam is extremely obvious, so I'm going to go out into my own Klefki here just to... I thought it was quad resist, but I learned Fairy doesn't resist Fairy earlier, so I guess it's just a double resist, just a regular resist, whatever. T-Wave was really obvious. I totally forgot that electric types are immune to Thunder Wave, which is great for electric types that want to boost their own speed like Agility and Pharos. It's definitely something to keep in mind. I may tinker around with that later, but he's going to go for a Will-O-Wisp. I'm just going to set up all day in this Rotom's face because I know realistically there's not a lot it can do to me outside of like Hydro Pumping. But I think I might have already gotten the light screen up, possibly. That looks like I got the light screen up. I probably just missed it the one time. But just going to go for another layer of spikes. If he misses Hydro Pump, then great. I get 3 layers up. But it turns out he doesn't want to miss, and he just ends up going for Volt Switch to take me out. That's cool, too. It ultimately gives me momentum because of the way Volt Switch works. He has to pick a Pokemon to switch in before I do because he's still in his pivot phase. So I get to switch in something accordingly to deal with Gengar, and I decide the best thing I can do here is I can go into my Noivern. Once again, me totally forgetting that he had a Klefki on his team, I decided to go for Draco Meteor. I probably should have gone for Flamethrower. A, because it was at a low enough range enough to take it out, and B, because the switch of this was extremely obvious, and I just completely spaced on it. but I'm choiced spec, so I have to switch out. I decided to go into my Metagross because if he wants to paralyze this thing, it does have max speed and max attack, because I originally wanted it to be an adamant Agiligro set, and then I saw Tony's video and I was like, I am all about that Assault Vest. I haven't re-EV'd it, but it does have an Assault Vest, and it's just an all-out attacking set, and I think it's great. That's probably one of the best items you can possibly put on it. Other than that, I know Klefki's not really going to attack me, so I figure I'll just go for Earthquakes, blah, blah, blah. Metagross is not having any of your shit today. I believe he's going to take the next turn, not after this. Or it's a little bit after this, but he does have a Gyarados on his team. So I guess he's scouting to see what I'm going to want to do, how I'm going to play. I'm just going to keep mashing Earthquake as long as he keeps subbing. Earthquake has no chance of missing. He has not tried to paralyze my Metagross yet, so that's absolutely fantastic. Switches out into Gyarados. Intimidate does not work on this guy, but he does dodge the... Or no, he doesn't switch out. Switches out into... He doesn't switch out into Gyarados yet. He switches out into this thing to dodge the Earthquake, which I do not hit, of course, because of Levitate, and I guess he was maybe trying to stall out screens. I got Bullet Punch. None of your shit. Get out, Gengar. Not putting up with that crap. Now he goes into Gyarados, and it looks like the only thing with potential for a Mega on his team, if I remember correctly, outside of Gengar, which I already took out in the first place. So if he's going to Mega, he's going to do it now. He's going to try to go for a DD because that's what Gyaradoses do. But because he's now Water Dark instead of Water Flying, I predict that shit and I decide, hey, I'm going to go for an Earthquake. I was so close to tapping Zen Headbutt, fun fact, but I decided not to, and I get off a nice chunk of damage on it, and I don't want anything else to take a hit from it, so it just dies. It just dies that quickly. I am so sorry, Metagross. Yeah, that's a 5IV Metagross too, by the way. I did not breed that. That was a gift from a Tumblr follower, and it ended up being a fantastic one. Because it's putting in a good amount of work. Not a lot of people are prepared for it right now because not a lot of people have them because they're a pain in the ass to breed. I get to go for a Dazzling Gleam on the Klefki, which it turns out resisted just fine. That's what I would have ended up going for. It was either that or a Focus Blast, which I don't think either one of them would have taken out the Klefki from the range it was at anyway. So whatever happened, happened. I'm not too upset with the outcome at the end of the day. So get to go back into my Chestnut because it's the only thing I really don't mind being tweeted at this point. I would definitely much rather have Chestnut paralyzed than Alakazam paralyzed because I need Alakazam for a lot of shit left on the rest of his team. So we're just here. I completely lost all momentum with that conversation whatsoever. Oh no, but I know he's going to set up, so I might as well just go for sub. He more than likely doesn't have any attacking moves either. The ones that I have seen, I've had maybe like Draining Kiss or, I don't know. People like their Klefkis to not have attack ID, so they make them Bull. So, but it turns out it does have an attacking move, which is Foul Play. It's not going to do that much owing to my resistance to Foul Play as well as my massive defense stat. I can actually stay in here and just do sub low sweep shenanigans to the point where I ultimately want to end up with the sub at the time that I knock out the Klefki, so he has to attack me and then I basically get a free hit off. But predicting that the Foul Play would break my sub on this turn, because although I'm extremely defensive just naturally, and I do have a sub up, it is my own attack stat being used on me, so it would do, I would hope, at least 12%, or maybe, I don't know. It did less than 25 the first time, which means I can set up another sub, and I can just go for another low sweep, which is what I ended up doing there. Just get to go for another low sweep and hopefully take him out, because you can bet your ass I wasn't going to go for a Seed Bomb or a Stone Edge on that one. I had to go for low sweeps. It's not the best attacking move that this guy can have, but given the speed investment I have on it, it's great. It allows it to, when you hit base 100s with a low sweep, you outspeed them by like 1 point, and you can take advantage of shit like Charizard and like Ninetales and stuff like that. And take it out with a Stone Edge, which is what I wanted to do. I think I explained that in the previous video, but that's what I had going on in mind for it. I sub right here. I'm not 100% sure why. I guess I wanted to scat out to see if he was going to go for a Volt Switch to try to get momentum or something like that. But it turns out he just really wants this thing gone. So I'm going to go for a Seed Bomb, and I barely miss out on the KO. I don't know if that was a low damage roll, but it definitely did not make my day. It is laundry day today. It is not my day today. He doesn't even miss Hydro Pump on that last one. So Teasel came so close to taking out the Rotom Wash, but no. Fortunately, it left the door wide open for Alakazam and his two stupid spoons to come in and just knock out everything. I think I ended up going for a Shadow Ball because if you wanted to switch out the Metagross or Excadrill to resist the Psych... Actually, no, that's right. Is it... Oh, it's Ghost and Dark. Yeah, I went for Shadow Ball just in case on the switch to this. It would still do a good chunk of damage, and it would still hit Mega Gyarados if you wanted to switch out. But it turns out you just left it and it died. And anything would have killed it at that point. So, Focus Blast thankfully hits. Alakazam, this Alakazam is a Sash variant, so even if he had priority on anything going on, it would still take him 2 hits to knock me out. But it turns out it's actually just going to be a clean sweep from that point. It just set it up to the point where Alakazam just comes in and just devours everything on the field. It's 2 stupid and cool spoons. Anyways, that was the game. I thought that was a pretty fun game. That was probably one of the most fun ones I've had since starting up Gen 6. And I hope you guys enjoyed it too. If you did, you can leave a like, rating, comment, and subscribe. Definitely do your thing. I'm recording a lot of battles in advance, so I haven't really seen the comments on the first one I uploaded this week. But yeah, let me know how you're liking everything so far. A huge shout out to Joey once again for that, for recording all of my battles. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.